Hello everyone, I invite you to the Monday cryptocurrency review. Let's start by checking the current situation on the BTC pair to USDT, taking into account the 4-hour interval. First, we will use the blue lines to mark the uptrend channel in which the BTC price is moving. And as you can see, we have touched the lower border of the channel for the third time. Now we can move on to marking support areas in case of deepening of the current correction. And here, in the first place, it is worth marking a strong support zone from $22,270 to $21,440, but when we fall below this zone, we can see a drop to around $20,417, and then even to the price of $17,410. Looking the other way, we can determine the places of resistance in a similar way. First, we will mark the resistance zone from $22,749 to $23,610. When we manage to break it, we have a second zone from $24,034 to $25,258. When you manage to overcome these two, the road will open towards $27,323. Please pay attention to the CHOP index, which indicates that in the 4-hour interval the energy has been used up. The MACD indicator has a strong local downtrend. While the RSI has rebounded to the lower limit of the range, which creates a lot of room for possible increases. As the second chart in today's review, we'll be looking at BNB versus USDT, also on a 4-hour timeframe. First of all, using the blue lines, we can mark the downtrend channel in which the price is currently moving. Now let's move on to marking the places of support. We will use the trend-based fib extension tool to mark the supports, and as you can see, we have the first support at $279, the second support at $272, the third at $267, and then at $262. Looking the other way, we can also mark the places where the price should encounter resistance on the way to increases. And here we have the first resistance at $294, the next resistance at $301, then the third resistance at $306, and the fourth at $311. The CHOP index indicates that there is still energy for movement. The MACD indicator is on the verge of entering a local uptrend. On the other hand, the RSI shows an increase, but there is plenty of room to continue it. As the third chart in today's review, we'll check ETH against USDT, also on a 4-hour timeframe. First of all, using the blue lines, we can mark the local downtrend channel in which the price is currently moving. Now let's move on to marking the places of support. We will use the fib retracement tool to mark support, and as you can see, the price stopped at a very strong support of $1,569 equal to 0.618 fib. We have a second support at $1,522, while when the price goes lower we can see a drop to $1,461. Looking the other way, we can also mark the places where the price should encounter resistance on the way to increases. And here we have first resistance at $1,591, next resistance is at $1,620, then third resistance at $1,643. Then we have a strong resistance zone from $1,667 to $1,700. The chop indicator indicates that we have a lot of energy for a new move. The MACD indicator shows a local uptrend, while the RSI shows a rebound but is still in the lower part of the range. The last one in today's chart is the FTM versus USDT chart. First, we will use the white line to mark the main trend that the price must overcome, but locally, with the blue lines, we will mark the downtrend channel in which the price is fighting for an uptrend. Moving on, we can move on to marking the places of support. And here we can immediately see that the support at 41 cents is very strong and held the price. But looking further, the next support is at 36 cents. Looking the other way, we see that the price has hit an important resistance zone from 43 cents to 46 cents that it has to face. Then we have resistance at 48 cents. Then a second zone from 50 cents to 53 cents. And another resistance at 57 cents. Please take a look at the chop index, which indicates that we have a lot of energy for the upcoming move. The MACD indicates that we are moving in a local uptrend, while the RSI has gone to the middle of the range and there is still room for further increases. Technical analysis is provided by a third party and for informational purposes only. It does not reflect the views of CryptoDaily, nor is it intended to be used as legal, tax, investment, or financial advice.